To make a syllabub, take a pint of cream, put to it half a pint of white wine, and squeeze into it a lemon and a half, or 2 lemons, and sweeten it as you please. Also, you may put in a little musk or ambergris. Beat all this with a whisk till you see the froth arise. Then take it off and put it into the pot that you save it in. Then beat it again till you see it rise again. Then take it off again as before, and so continue till it is all turned into a froth. You must put in 2 or 3 sprigs of rosemary and some of the lemon peel, but serve it not. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Nibbling with New, where this week we're taking a look at To Make a Syllabub from Elizabeth Jacob and others' early modern recipe book from 1654 to circa 1685. It is located on page 101 for any of you who wish to look at related recipes there. Syllabub has gone by many names over the years, including sillybub, sillybubs, sillybobble. Listed on Oxford English Dictionary as syllabub or syllabub, it is defined as a drink or dish made of milk, frequently as drawn from the cow or cream, curdled by the admixture of wine, cider, or other acid, and often sweetened and flavored. It also states that syllabub was in common use from the 16th century to around the 19th century. So for tools, we just need a cutting board, knife, whisk, and a measuring cup. For ingredients, we need some rosemary, dry white wine, sugar, and 2 lemons. And in a separate shot, here is the whipping cream I forgot to include. The recipe also mentions musk and ambergris. Musk is a secretion from the gland of a male musk deer, and ambergris is a wax-like secretion in the intestines of the sperm whale. I wasn't really sure where to get edible musk at this point in time, and I'm pretty sure that ambergris is entirely illegal, so I didn't really bother with that. To start it all off, I'm rolling these lemons so it'll be easier to squeeze later, as I don't really have a tool for that, and I'm not going to assume that whoever made this recipe used one. Here you can see that I'm really unsure of how to cut a lemon and have to ask my boyfriend for advice. So I go ahead and prepare the lemon juice to add. The recipe calls for 1.5 to 2 lemons, so I just round it up because the more lemony, the better. Next, I go ahead and grab a large pot that will also double as the one I'm storing it in because I don't really have a large bowl I could use, and that means less dishes anyway, so it's perfect. I add 1 pint of heavy whipping cream here, and here is the hard part. Well, for me anyway. First of all, I can't even open the wine bottle, so I struggled with that. I chose to use oak leaf Pinot Grigio because it was the first dry white wine I could find, and it was dirt cheap. White wine is preferred in recipes because it isn't sweetened. It's also highly acidic, which really helps create that frothy texture we're looking for here. I can't recall ever really using a corkscrew, so here I am trying to figure out how it even works. After an eternity, I finally was able to get the cork out of the bottle, and I measured out half a pint or 1 cup of the wine and add it to the mixture. Wine is one of the main components of syllabub because it's alcoholic, so therefore the wine curdles the heavy whipping cream, giving us that frothiness and sharp taste. Often in modern recipes, chefs will kind of boil off the alcohol in their mixtures before adding cream to prevent the curdling. However, that's kind of what we're going for here. Next, I go ahead and grab the lemon juice from earlier, making sure to remove the seeds. The recipe then calls for us to sweeten it as we please. I like sugar, so I go ahead and add maybe 1, 2, or 5 spoons of sugar. I don't really have any musk or ambergris to add, so I just leave the mixture at that. When looking for recipes to recreate, I actually noticed that a lot of them included ambergris, which supposedly has a very earthy and sweet flavor. Now this next part was definitely a workout. Here I just beat the mixture with the whisk until frothy, let it sit, and repeat until we reach the desired thickness. It was extremely messy, and I kind of found the best way was not to do it in a circular motion, with just back and forth in the pan, which definitely caused it to splash everywhere, but that's okay. Here are some shots of what it looked like whenever it was resting. You can see it's getting kind of thicker as well. So while I'm working on that, here are some fun facts about syllabub. Syllabub can be made with different acidic bases to curdle the cream. Nowadays, people might use other fruits, other liquors, nutmeg, etc. Sometimes this was used to make early modern remedies, actually. For example, syllabub curdled with verjuice, which is an acid juice of green or unripe grapes, was used to treat a choleric stomach. This was basically kind of just like having a hot feeling whenever you had a stomach ache, and this was mostly based on the imbalance of the humors in Greek medicine. So I actually ended up completing this whisking cycle about 6 or 7 times. I may have also added in a few more spoonfuls of sugar. So here you can see what it kind of looked like towards the end. The consistency was really thick because of the wine and the cream. And just a little bit more sugar. Once I decided it was just the right amount of froth, I added in a few sprigs of rosemary and lemon peel. As the recipe said, serve it not, I refrained from scooping out the rosemary in the syllabub. However, just for the presentation, I went ahead and added some garnish. And there you have it. Though this recipe wasn't particularly complex, it did require a lot of cleaning and quite the arm workout. I personally thought it tasted really light, really fresh, kind of like a parfait, and I definitely would have it again. I actually bought way more ingredients than I needed just in case I really liked it. But I personally felt like it could use a little more of something, so I referenced a raspberry syllabub recipe from today, and it was pretty similar aside from the raspberry and another kind of cooking wine. I feel like this really added more to the presentation, and the contrast between the sweetness of the berry and the cream and tartness of the lemon and wine was really nice in the end.